Hello everybody. In today's video we will be working on the Minolta XD-11 camera. This camera came to us for just a basic overhaul. It's a pretty good example, very clean. We did replace seals earlier, so that way we don't have to waste time on showing you how to do the basic stuff. So we'll get right into it and start opening up the covers to get to the areas and points that we typically work on in order to perform a basic overhaul on it. All right, so let's get started. We're going to remove the bottom plate and investigate what we have in there. Normally I don't do anything on the bottom cover because there's really not much here unless there is a problem to address. Now this is a reset switch. What I like to do is just clean it to make sure that these contacts are not oxidized. Both of these here. Aside from that, we're going to leave the bottom portion alone and start working on the front. So the next thing I'm going to do is remove the nameplate and take out the lens mount in order to clean the aperture contacts. So I'll do that next. So these contacts get dirty and oxidized over time, and when they do, it throws off the light metering. You'll see a lot of flickering going on, or the light meter arrow goes at the very bottom, or opposite goes at the very top. So the readings are very erratic. So it's important to clean these contacts if it hasn't been done. Okay, everything looks good here. Now the next area we're gonna work on is gonna be this little mechanism. I call this a pump. Okay, it's a spring pump that basically controls the operation of the mirror. Okay, as you release the camera, and I'll set it on B, mechanical, there's a little pump that goes up and down like a cylinder. Okay, and a lot of times it gets dirty, and that process of retrieving the mirror becomes sluggish and slow. So this needs to be properly removed. Now you got to be careful, or I got to be careful when I remove it, because there's a spring that is tightly wound, and I don't want to be in a position of not controlling that spring, otherwise it'll just basically fly away. That's what we'll do now. All right, we'll put the camera away for a second. So this is our pump mechanism. I'll go ahead and just clean it inside on both ends. Now this isn't a problem right now, okay? It's actually relatively clean, but it's part of what we normally do on this model. So it's a good thing to just preemptively address it so it doesn't become an issue in the future. As you can see, it's basically pushes in and out, okay? Now we're gonna put it back. It's going to be a little tricky. Okay, there we go. It is placed correctly. All right, so we can go ahead and move on to the next one. Now, another thing that could go wrong over time with this camera is the self-timer could sputter. And the self-timer has basically a mechanism right below here, and there's 3-4 gears that actually are able to be accessed from this area without taking out the entire panel because of this. Now this is not a problem right now, but what I do, I know which gears have, you know, historically have these issues. So what I'll do is I will apply oil specifically onto those gears right now. You can probably hear a little buzzing. Okay, it's telling me I'm actually in the right area. Okay, so that's it for our front portion of the camera. We'll put it back. onto the top cover. First things first, we'll remove the rewind knob. Set it to 100. Okay, so this is our ASA dial. It's the same story as with an Aperture. It gets oxidized, dirty, sometimes actually detaches itself, so we'll take care of that right now. And there is another point of contact that we want to clean. It's a release contact, electronic release contact. And we're gonna just carefully clean it. Scratch it rather. Okay, just to be on the safe side. Okay, now we'll remove this section here. Go ahead and clean it the same way. Now this is a purely electronic camera, so the shutter operates mechanically only in two modes. That's B and O basically. Other than that, all the speeds and automatic exposure is controlled by power, by battery. So there's no reason for us to lubricate the shutter or remove the panel in this particular case. That's not the reason, but you know, this camera doesn't require complete dismantling for lubrication and overhaul. Okay, and we'll clean the viewfinder as well. It's a little dusty. tighten up the rewind knob. Okay, now let's put the bottom cover back in place. So we'll go ahead and remove what remains from the mirror cushion. Just a bunch of disintegrated seal, and then we'll clean the focusing screen. looks okay now. It's a little tricky with these old cameras. As soon as you clean the screen, there's a rogue speck that gets in there. So it takes a little bit of patience to clean it properly. Okay, and then we'll put a mirror cushion on top there. All right, so this will do it for us. Thank you for watching.